If you like to drive fast, but you also like keeping your car scratch-free and you want to save a bucket load of fuel, this is the video for you. So these are the tips that I always give to the new drivers, and this normally keeps them on the road. So some people like to drive fast, and I've been there, I've been young, I've been dumb, I've crashed the car. So I'm not here to preach to the choir, but I am going to share some tips with you so you can avoid making that same mistake. Always expect the worst. Not a very sexy name, is it? The biggest mistake people make when driving is taking a corner too fast. And this is particularly bad on the country roads where the corners are very, very tight and the roads are very, very narrow. And as you go to the corner, you're thinking there's no one round the corner. I'm going to floor it. And 99 out of 100, there's not. Great. But the 1 in 100 is when your car goes through the hedge and next thing you know, you're crying on the phone to daddy. So that's the one we want to avoid. So how do we do that? Think about the guy that steals, goes around robbing people's houses, okay? Does it every day. That's basically his living, you know? One day, he's going to get caught. Not if he gets caught, when he gets caught. And you going around those corners is exactly the same. One day there's going to be something there. And when there is, it's going to be bad. So how can we avoid that? Well, here's the secret. Every time you come to a corner or a bend that you cannot see around, tell yourself, there's a tractor coming around that corner. And then you're going to prepare your car in case a tractor does come around the corner. And maybe it's not a tractor, maybe it's someone driving at the same speed that you are. Can you keep your car on your side of the road if that happens? The answer's no, slow down. It really is that simple, because one day there will be a tractor coming around the corner or a person walking the dog without a pavement. And when that day happens, it could be a very sad day for you, along with other people as well.
Always prepare for the tractor round the corner. This time we're on a straight, so there's no reason why I can't gather a bit of speed until I start getting too close to the corner, and then I start to brake. Now this time I can't see around the corner, so I'm going a bit wider and I'm dropping the gear as well, just in preparation in case a tractor's coming. Now there's not, but there is a van.
Now again, I'm not saying don't go fast on the country roads. We're all guilty of liking a bit of speed here and there. I'm just saying choose where you go fast. If it's straight, whatever, open track mode. If there's a bend coming up, prepare for the tractor. My next big tip is the driving game. This is good fun. It's going to keep you entertained. You can do it on the way to work, on the way to school, on the way to college, on the way to the supermarket. And when you play this, it's going to massively increase your thinking. You're going to start to see what's really important on the road because there's so much to constantly look at. We don't need to look at all of it. And it can be really hard when there's like 3.4 million signs all in your face and you just end up blanking all of them. And this is going to save you fuel, which is going to save you monies. Okay, so the aim of the game is 1, we try to never stop the car, and 2, we're aiming to brake as little as possible. Yes, you did hear correct, not stop the car and not use a brake. However, you can avoid probably 95% of these with this game. To do this, you're going to have to plan a lot further ahead, which means you're going to have to see a lot further down the road. And because you're going to see the red lights much earlier, it means you're going to come off the gas pedal much earlier. And as we know, anytime we come off that gas pedal, every movement of the car is free, meaning it's not going to cost us any fuel. So that's great, we've come off the gas pedal. Now how are we going to slow the car down? And that's where your gears come in. If you're approaching a roundabout or a traffic light, drop the gear down to gear 2. Then slowly bring the clutch up, which is going to naturally slow the car down with engine braking. Provided you're not redlining it, you're not going to do any damage to the car, and you're also not going to be using your brakes, which means no new brake pads, no new brake discs, and far less wear and tear to the tyres.
Okay, we have a series of 3 roundabouts coming up and a left turn. The aim of the game is to brake as little as possible and to not have to stop at all for all 3 roundabouts. Can we do it? Let's have a look. So roundabout number 1, no brake yet. I'm going to drop it into 3rd gear and then I'm going to drop it into 2nd gear using a bit of engine braking. It's looking clear, so I'm going to carry on. Roundabout number 2 coming up. So we're going straight on at this roundabout, no brake yet, dropping it into 2nd gear. Again, going to use a bit of engine braking. This is free fuel now. It's got its brake lights on, so I'm keeping it nice and slow while I look over here. There's nothing coming. I'm going slow, slow, and I can go for it. There's nothing coming. Stay in the outside lane, and then I'm turning left here. Again, looking, no brake. Boom. 3 roundabouts, no braking required.
So not only is this going to massively improve your awareness as to what the hell's going on and what's important around you, it's also going to save you a bucket load of fuel. And you might be thinking, well, why, Josh? I'm taking my foot off the gas pedal a little bit earlier. How's that going to save me money? Think about on your way to work or on your way to college or wherever you regularly go, how many times in a journey do you brake? Count 40, 60, 100. Let's say you cut that down to 5 or 10 and you came off the gas pedal for 5 seconds earlier on each of those 40, 60, 100 times. How many seconds is that going to add up to of completely free use of fuel? How much money will you save? A bucket load, I'll tell you that. Watch your mileage go up.
Okay, now we're going to do an overpopulated one-way system through a very small town that is very, very busy. This is going to be the most likely place that you're going to have to stop the car. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try using as little brake as possible, but a place like this, you're going to have to brake. But what we can try and avoid is stopping. And every time that you avoid stopping, you are going to save a buckload of fuel and keep your driving super duper smooth. So we've got a sign there, all traffic. So I'm going to use the right lane, second gear, no brake yet, looking, the lane's clear, and I'm carrying on. I'm going to have to go around this parked car. Okay, we're staying in second gear. We're following it around. Now I'm gonna need the right lane for all of this, so I'm just gonna stay in the right lane. Lights are green, no one's waiting. Okay, loads of traffic. I'm gonna have to brake, but I'm braking really early. I'm not delaying anyone around me because they're gonna have to stop anyway, so there's no point rushing. I'm just slowing down so much that I'm hoping the lights are gonna change before I get there. Therefore, I haven't stopped the car. Come on, lights, yes. There you go, no stop. Again, this is gonna get really busy around here. There's no point me rushing because look at all the traffic in front of me. I'm not delaying anyone. It's all stopping, brake lights ahead. I'm slowing down much earlier. Into first gear, again, rolling really slowly. I'm not delaying anyone because they're stopping anyway. But I am going to have to stop the car. Mission failed. We haven't stopped yet, but I just can't see it happening. We're still rolling slightly. No, we've stopped. Mission failed. That is an occasion where sometimes you do just have to stop the car and it can't be avoided.
Have a go on the way to work, wherever you go regularly. Do it for one journey and have a look at your miles per gallon. See how much more you get just in fuel and let me know in the comments. And a caveat to this, of course, if you need to stop the car and you need to brake, you make sure that you, of course, use the brake. This is not encouraging anyone to go through red lights or anything ridiculous like that. This is just encouraging people to be more aware down the road and get off the gas earlier. Okay, final tip is the visibility line. And now if you're a driving instructor or you're in the police, you may very well call this the limiting point. But it doesn't matter what the name is. The point is this is the furthest point down a road that you can see. Now, if this is a very straight road, it's going to be a long, long way. However, if there's a bend coming up, that's going to be the furthest point that you can see. Now, when we go to a bend, most drivers are going to take what we call the racing line, which you can see in red. The idea is by hugging the hedge, you've got less turn, which means you can keep your speed up round the corner. The problem is you also have much less visibility. So as we said, if you're somewhere where there's no pavement, so there's someone walking a dog or a tractor coming around the corner, it's going to go badly real quick if you can't see what's going on around the corner. So how do we fix this problem? Well, instead of taking the racing line, which is the red line, we take the green line, which is going to be hugging the white line in the middle of the road. Of course, don't try this if there is no white line. This is going to give you that much more visibility as you go around the corner, meaning you're going to be able to see around the corner what's coming, and provided it's clear, take the corner slightly quicker.
Now, when you get to a bend like this, I've got two options. Option one, I can hug the hedge really tight, and that way if something comes the other way, hopefully I'm going to be out the way. Or I can go with option two, which I'm going to show you now, which is instead hug the other hedge. By doing that, I'm going to have a better view to see if something's coming, which is going to give me plenty of time to move back to the left side if I need to. Now, I'd only do this on a road if it wasn't particularly wide enough for two cars anyway. There you go. Second I can see it's clear, back onto my side. And again, I'm going to have a far better view if I stay on the left side. So I'm not going to try and take the race line. Instead, I'm going to stay hiking the left. I'm preparing for the tractor. No tractor. Put my foot back down for the straight.
Now, again, a little caveat with this. Be very careful where you do this, because if someone's coming around the other way also hugging the white line, you could very quickly lose a wing mirror. So don't play chicky with lorries. I hope this has helped. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I am Josh and I'll see you through a window.